Your screen will start in a moment, and it's got the same. Okay. Oh, well, that's live now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cover cut. Hey, this you talking about the switch where the headphones is at? Oh, cover cut. Cover cut. Cover cut. Just cut it off. Cover cut. It's not the correct. Shalom. We are the Isupk coming out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York, and the Commander Junior High. And today's topic is we have a history, our people, just like any other people on the face of the planet, we have a history of being, strong, and being, having a military, just like every other nation. We're no different. Because if the people, any nation of people is set in place by their military. That's the reason why countries respect other countries. Because of that. Regardless of whether the military seems to be weak or strong, that's the reason why you can take the places like in Africa. Who everybody looks at as the mud hut people and all of that. But, if you organize, people have more respect for you. Even though you might not have the top weaponry or any of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? You're organized. They have an amount of respect for you. We want to know the reason why a lot of nations don't respect us because we don't operate in this fashion. As a matter of fact, we're the only nation of people on the face of the planet that actually hates its military leaders. Yeah, I put it out there like that. It's true. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Who's the nation not desired? That nation is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That's the nation that's not desired. We're an undesired people. How do we know that we're undesired? How are we treated in society? How are you treated when you go inside of a Chinese restaurant? How are they looking at you? When you go inside an Arab restaurant? When you go inside the gas station? All of these different nations of people. When you go inside an African store, the African gas station, the African, stores and all of that, how are you treated? You're always looked at as you're going to be a thief. You're going to steal. Because they don't sit there, they don't have no compassion upon us at all. They think that in their mind that, we coming in, we're known for, you're made the poorest people of all. I don't care what type of good job you have, or what type of money that you think you have, what they call spending power, consumer power, which in reality there's no such thing as that. The consumer doesn't have the damn power. The producer has the power, not the consumer. But what they've also done too is they have flipped the script on us also, and then made it to where, we believe that we're actually the consumers when we're actually the producers. And they call the producers, the consumers, the producers. They flipped around backwards on us. We produce wealth for everybody else. You see what I'm saying? And now if our people were actually men that understood warfare, we would be going against other races having businesses in our neighborhoods. They're about that. That's why you can't open a business inside their neighborhood. Yeah, try and go to Korea and sell rice and see how they go for you. See how that works. It's not going to go over too well because they are about their own. It's funny because our people see nothing wrong with them doing that, but if we do it, there's something wrong. And they'll even go so far as say things like, well, blacks kill blacks. Blacks do this and that to blacks. Well, so do Koreans do things to Koreans. But that does not justify another race coming in and doing the same thing to them also. That does not justify that. But we are the only people that they use this philosophy on. Because let me let you in on the secret. Because they view us as being less than human. When they talk about human rights, we're not really included in that. And anytime that we are, included in things like human rights, it's for the sole purpose of fooling us into thinking that we're somehow equals, while they can say everybody else can sit there and take advantage of us. And we'll even be also in on the deal also for other races to take advantage of us. That's the reason why if there's a racial issue to break out with us against any other people, you'll have so many of us that will side with that other people and start to go against our own when they never do that. Now let's go back to the scriptures. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth. What is this meekness mean in this? The men that have strength, that are under control, disciplined men. It doesn't mean weak. It doesn't mean timid or any of that, because the Lord, the scripture also says the fearful should not enter into the kingdom of God. That's what the scripture say. It's not what I'm saying. So it says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. That's one of the things we have to understand too, the judgments of the Lord. That's one of the reasons, being the fact that we don't get into the judgments of the Lord like that, that's the reason why we don't understand judgment. That's why we go under, when you claim to be a man of God, you claim to be looking at the Bible, read the Bible and all of that, but you don't even pay attention to the judgments of the Lord, then what you'll do is you'll go unto the judgments of America, the Christian church. That's what you do. Pretty much snap yourself back to being a Christian again. That's what you'll do. All right. We'll go to Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. Plenty of people say, well, and they see how we dress and all of that, and how we be out there, and how we're, what they call militant and all of that. But the Bible says the Lord is a man of war. So how the Lord could be a man of war, but then you want to carry yourself otherwise? How's the Lord a man of war, but you want to run around with soft, silky dashikis and stuff like that on? Why is that? Why are you going to be different than who you say your king is? Why would you want to do that? That makes no sense right there. You're supposed to be like unto your king. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. Wait a minute. It just said that the Lord took the chosen captains and drowned them in the Red Sea. Drowning them. So how is the Lord? As the king is, so is the people. Remember that. Put that in your skull for a second. As the king is, so is the people. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Now, how was that? Because Pharaoh and them came out with all their heavy chariots and their horses and all of that. With all of their military might, with all of this heavy stuff, with all this steel that they owned, which we owned, a little, if any, steel. The nations have always did that to us also. The nations have always made sure that the only steel that we actually had, we had very little steel other than the steel that we use to work for them. Which I'm going to also bring that thing out later on as we go forth in this class. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. What did the Lord do? The Lord dashed in pieces all the enemies that came up against the nation of Israel. The most powerful, the Egyptians were the most powerful people on the face of the planet in this day. So a lot of people got the Lord twisted. A lot of people got the Lord, got him twisted, like, like he's not, mighty. He's not a man of war. You see what I'm saying? When they come with these, these children's stories and stuff like that, they don't show the graphic things that the Lord actually did to show how he really is. So if he's like this, how are the men that follow him supposed to be? Our problem is we listen to women too much. Women is the one that got the men running around with the shaped up beards and the lineups, got the men running around with dashikis and things like that on. Looking soft and creamy, all of that, really actually becoming homo Israelites. They the ones that doing it. You can't listen to your woman when it comes to manners of war. You can't do that. She shouldn't be in the conversation when it comes to things like warfare. She shouldn't be in it at all. That's your job, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. She should not be conversant at all. And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Because who are they, when they rise up against us, who are they really raising up against? They're actually raising up against the Lord. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people in like fake Israelite groups, they don't understand that. They say, well, every time, that's why one of the reasons why they justify everything that the white man do. Either the fact that they don't understand it, or they do understand it, and they choose to be with the side of the enemy to go against the Lord. There's only two, reasons for that. Thing about it, that is exactly what they do. They actually really go against the Lord and try and mask it. Anytime anything is done to us by the white man, they'll say, well, they come to justify him. When they understand that the only reason why the white man comes against us the way he do is because he's trying to really want to come against the Lord for real, and he can't do nothing to the Lord. So who does he take his anger out on? Of course, he take it out on the Lord's people. It's just that simple. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The Most High is powerful like that. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is no joke. All right. Now, I know what a lot of people sat back thinking. Well, yeah, I know they sat back thinking they're like, certain, well, because the Lord, he does this, and he does that, that pretty much saying that pretty much kind of putting like he's not with the nation, he's not with the nation of Israel, regardless. Even when we're in a state of sin, there is still a door open for us to come back and return. And then we'll sit there and say too, well, we don't have the military might. We don't have this and we don't have that. The Lord never told us to go out and just assemble and do anything to anybody. Right? But what he does tell is for us to come together as a nation. Because when we come together as a nation, then he can come and fight for us. Right? Then we will see something that would actually amaze us and cause us to believe in the Lord. And that time is damn sure coming. It's damn sure coming. Where even all the high-ranking men and everything like that is going to be astonished. Because now we won't just only be reading it in the Bible, we'll be seeing it right in front of our face. Like, man, wow. We're going to see things on a whole nother level that we never, that we never thought, that we never saw them before. It's one thing reading in the scriptures, but it's another thing seeing the scriptures be brought to life right in front of your face. See what I'm saying? The Most High is going to destroy, and he's going to hurt all of our enemies so that we will have confidence in him. Now, let me go ahead and go to this. We're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 13 and verse 14. Bible, and they sharpened their mattocks and axes. So lucky that was the wrong scripture right there. Here we go. It's First Samuel chapter 13, and we're gonna start from the about verse 18. First Samuel chapter 13 and verse 18. And another company turned the way to Beth Horon, and another company turned to the way of the border that looketh to the valley of Zeboim, toward the wilderness. There was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel. Now, when it talks about there's no smith found, right? There was no man, there was no, what they call it, blacksmith, a man that worked with steel and iron, because you make weapons, with iron, and steel. There was no smith found. And that's one of the reasons why they want to make sure that they take all, try and confiscate all guns that come from black people. You know, that's one of the reasons why they want to do that. That's why they came out with, guns for teddy bears and all types of, stuff like that. It's to take away all your weapons, which this stuff's not new. It was what the heathens have always done to us. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel. For the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears, because the Philistines, these Africans, mightily oppressed us. They put mighty oppression upon us to make sure that we had no steel. The only steel that we actually had was steels that we can actually farm with and stuff like that. That was it. You had sickles and everything for threshing. You had your little, axes and your little stuff like that. Same stuff that they did to brothers, in the Caribbean and stuff like that. They had like machetes and things to make, to do the sugar cane and all of that with. But as far as having steel to make things with, they didn't have that. Lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his share, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattock. They went down to sharpen the tools used to farm and do all of that with the tools that were not intentionally meant to be weapons. They went to sharpen them. And they had a file for the mattocks, and for the coulters, and for the forks, and for the axes, and to sharpen the goads. Now, we think about this for a second. Now, with all of these weapons right here, this stuff sounds very familiar. So this goes to also show you, this also goes to show everybody, just like the one scripture says, which I'm going to come to later on, the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty to taking down of strongholds. We came through here with inferior weapons. Everybody else always had the superior weapons over us. Everybody else. So we don't need to sit there and think like, every nation is just so high and mighty above us. They have this and they have that. We've always been at this type of disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? We've always had this type of disadvantage. And a lot of the times when we had the top superior weapons, we lost. In a lot of instances, we lost battles. Just like when we went up on the city of AI at that time. We lost the battle of AI. And AI, after we did mighty cities. AI was the most smallest, the most seemingly most insignificant of all of those cities, and we lost to them. We had the high hand, and we still lost. You know, so what lesson was that to teach? It's not in your numbers, and it's not in your superior weaponry or anything like that. Brotherhood is a weapon. This is going through the history of how we, as a nation, and always, once we unify as a nation and we be in, order like what we're supposed to be, the nations give respect unto us because the fear of the Lord falls upon them and not the fear of what we got. We fear what they got. Yeah, they got the nuclear weapons, and they got, bullets that can turn corners, and they got this and that. We fear everything they got. But with them, they fear who is with us. That's that. And that's the reason why they've always attacked the organization, the organizing of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians because of that fear. Because they understand that our strength does not come by weaponry and multitude of men and all of that. They understand that. We need to start to learn to understand that. So it came to pass in the day of the battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the land of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan. But with Saul and with Jonathan, his son, there was found. So what is it saying here? It was saying that, the higher ups, they had their little weapons and everything. King Saul, which was known for sapping all the resources up out of the people. He was able to take the best of land, whatever he wanted, he was able to take the best of it. Impute that to himself. He was able to do all of that. But as far as with the other people, as far as with the regular, brothers and everything, there was no steel found, only with the house of Saul. And the Philistines figured they could, then trust him with it because, hell, at that time, they already had him damn near as a servant unto them. Until he rose up to war with them, and even with the steel, he still lost. And the Most High brought salvation through another means, which was King David, the next king to raise up after him. The thing with being, what they call military minded is being in order. Being in order. Having a good, solid, strong structure. That's the thing that people fear the most. Like, say, for instance, the Black Panther Party, they're not a structured people. They're not a structured group of people like that. They're all out of order. They have lesbians that are in high positions running their stuff. And what the lesbians will do, she is a woman still, and she's very negotiable, and she'll sell out everybody. She's the weaker vessel. She's not supposed to be in leadership. How are they going to sit there and put women over their cities when they're supposed to be people of war? They run around with boots on and everything, but then, let's raise up the woman, put her. And let me tell you one of the reasons why so many people raise up the women inside their organizations is because they figure they can hide behind her. Like the white man is not going to be so angry and mad with them if he has her as his lead, as their leader. So what he want to do, he want to play, he want to hide and go hide behind her, put her up as the leader and everything. He go hide behind her, and she ain't gonna do nothing but sell them out and get, anybody that's even seemingly strong, she gonna deliver them up. Because if anybody sit there and said, wait, if anybody caught, it was like got a little bit wise or whatever, it was like, wait a minute, hold on. This is a woman and she shouldn't be, like leading the battle and everything. She can't go out to war. She's not going to be brave to the point of death. She's not going to be, any of that. And they actually start to, be inquisitive. They start to, ask questions and things like that. She is going to get that. Then you're going to see that Jezebel spirit and she's going to come down upon them. She gonna come down upon that person, and the other dudes that put her in power is gonna be sitting back dumbfounded, like, and she's gonna, she gonna be able to get rid of that brother. Like the same thing that happened, up under, Ahab and Jezebel, and then you had, Athaliah in the southern kingdom. You had that deal going on. That's one thing that we have to understand. The woman is not supposed to be leading us. She's not a military general. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna have a damn lesbian as your military general? She hates you for being a goddamn man. So what does that tell you? She hates you because she envies men. That's why she acts like one. Because she envies you. Now, you ever notice something? When those women, when they're in a position, in some type of position like that, or they want to imitate men, right? You ever notice how they don't imitate the white man? I mean, as far as like they don't not running around with a Brad Pitt hairstyle and try and be like, some type of white man. They act like us. And the reason why they do that is to make sure that they abate and smash it and make it like that they can be a better you than what you can. So now you feel like a lesser you. You figure that they can be a better black man than what you can. They're the new and improved black man. And in your mind, you start to believe this. Because not only is she imposing that upon you, but so is society too. Society is also doing the same thing. Now, we get back to the scriptures. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Exodus chapter 12 and verse 37. Exodus chapter 12 and verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men beside children. Okay. Now it said about 600. Those are the men that were able to fight in case need be. These men were put in rank order. They were put, because anytime the Most High always delivered us out of out of the hands of another nation, what did he do? He set us in order. We weren't just a bunch of wild grapes running around. He didn't just separate us as a group, no leadership, no order, no nothing. He didn't do that. That's not how the Lord works. He sets us in order because let me let you in on a little secret. The Lord does not bless anything that is not in order. He does not do it. He never does that. He's not gonna, if you want a blessing inside your family, what you better do, you better set that family in order first. You see what I'm saying? You better set that family in order. Because if it's not in order, that's the reason why you have sisters that run around thinking that they kick the man out the house. and they have the children and all of that there, and they run around, Lord, bless this house, that's not the blessing, you know. The woman has to be in order. That's how it's got to be. Better be in order, you know. Now, once the things are in order, then the Lord can, bless, the house. Same thing with the nation. It's the same concept. The Lord's not going to bless this nation if this nation is not in order. That's that. Now, you want to know who the Lord is with? Look at what they call the military, organization, the one that's most hated because of that. That's one of the reasons why the Isupk is the most hated. It's because of that fact right there. Of setting the people in order, ranking the order, and things like that. That's how you know who the Lord is with. That's who the Lord has always been with. When you go, from Genesis to Revelations. The Lord ain't been with a bunch of whole loose band people and everything. Because if you a loose band people like that, you just only been ran by the white man. That's it. And the Lord's not blessing you for that. The white man becomes your God. You become, it's always funny because we understand this. If the white man is setting forth the order, we understand it then. But we don't understand it if our people, if our people are setting forth the order. Up under the Most High, we don't understand the order. We complain about it, but at the same time, the white man can have the military, and we get right in order and in line. And nobody talks bad about that. Nobody talks bad about the United States military, Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines. But let me tell you who they will talk bad about. They'll talk bad about the Isupk. Let me tell you why. Because we're not associated with the white man in any type, form, or fashion. That's the reason why everybody has a problem with it. You organizing yourself outside of massa. That's how they're really thinking. You organizing yourself, right? Outside of massa. Yes, we are. And that's the thing that they cannot stand. They hate that. They're in the military, they totally understand. But if you take the white man and move him out of the equation, now they don't understand. Now they looking at you, they calling you a terrorist. They calling you a terrorist, they calling you a bum, they calling you everything because you're operating outside of him. And that's the way our people think. But the Most High is going to show, who he's actually with and who he's not. That's going to be a done deal right there. The sad thing about it is, even in that day, when the Most High is magnified and making it certainly known, there's still going to be people that's going to be trying to rebel, just like it was in the time of Moses. It's going to be the same thing. And the Most High is going to have to make examples out of those people. Sad, but true. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to 1 Chronicles chapter 11 and verse 20. First Chronicles chapter 11 and verse 20. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, he was chief of the 3. For lifting up his spear against 300, he slew them, and had a name among the 3. That's powerful right there. This is the type of mighty men that the Lord raises up. He took his spear and raised up against 300 and started to tear their behinds up with that damn spear. You know what I'm saying? We always been the mightiest people on the face of the planet. Always. That's one of the reasons why we're so feared. We're feared in everything. I mean, look at us in sports. Even with our spirit being broken and beaten down and all of that, we're still dominating sports, and we're on the damn bottom. We done been beat to potted meat. So imagine what it's like once our spirit is revived in us. Imagine what it'll be like then. And all the other nations on the face of the planet know this. That's why they're so adamant about making sure that we're poor, making sure that we're, oppressed, that we're filling up the jails, that all of this psychological, environmental racism, uh, racism in the medical industry, they devise everything against us to weaken us in every type of way that they can. And that is exactly what they do. And when they do that, they're not going against us. They're actually going against the Lord for real. So for everybody to sit there and say, we kill each other, we do this to each other, so like that gives everybody else an excuse to do evil things to us because we do it to each other, that doesn't even make any sense. The problem that a race has with its own race is their business. It's nobody else's business. So you got beef between the Irish and the Irish, that doesn't give nobody else a license to come in and be like, I can kill both of y'all. I can do this to both of y'all because y'all doing it to each other. So I can go in and I can do it to y'all. That's evil. That is Cain. That's the spirit of Cain, the spirit of a man that wants to murder, that only wants to find an excuse to do so. And black people, that thought did not come from us. That thought did not come from us. That come from the slave master, and we took it on as our thought without even damn thinking it through. Without even thinking that thought through, all of these black people that claim to be so educated, we didn't even think that type of logic through. Black people boast, we love to boast ourselves in education and all of that, but something as simple as that, try to put that on somebody else. We claim, God love everybody, and, you claim you love everybody, right? Well, go to the Jewish man with that same philosophy and say, well, you know what, Jewish people were killing Jewish people during the time of Nazi Germany. So why y'all not letting the Nazis do it? Why not let the Nazis do it? Because, Jewish people were killing Jewish people. Were they? Of course they were. Jewish people were killing each other in Germany, and they were killing each other in America too, because, you also had the liquor trade going on in America, which Jewish people were trying to knock each other off because they wanted to monopolize the liquor trade. So they were killing each other, just like the Irish was killing the Irish, just like the the Italians were killing the Italians, and they were all killing each other. So who was to say, just because, Arnold Rothstein had people killed during that time, that someone could come in and start killing up Jewish people because, Arnold Rothstein was having Jewish people killed. What type of sense does that make? That makes no sense at all. But being the fact that you put that on black people and to see now that, that doesn't, let me tell you, it doesn't make sense to humans. People that everybody look at as humans, but to the people that nobody looks at as humans, now all of a sudden somehow it makes sense. You can put this stuff on black people. That's pure evil right there. Why are you sitting there claiming that you love the Lord so much? And a lot of you fake Israelite groups is on board with that same stuff also. Run around with Yad bin Yisrael and all of that. Run around talking the same garbage all over Facebook. Talking the same damn garbage. We killing each other. Or if he called, and then we'll even say, we call each other, nigga. Why not let everybody else do it, huh? Well, you know what? You discipline your kid. You spank your child. Let the whole world spank your child. You be the first one to hop up. Ain't nobody disciplining my kid. Nobody disciplining my kid. But you believe that it's okay for someone to come and kill your race and humiliate your race just because, your race is doing it. What type of sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense at all. You need to really look into that education that you think that you got. Because what you are is a goddamn fool. That's what you are. You're stupid. Just because you got a damn piece of paper. You the scarecrow. You the scarecrow on the Wizard of Oz. Went through all of that garbage, went through all of that, and then, with all, what I'm saying, went through the whole thing and finally got into the wizard and, he gave you a damn roll of paper. And you did all that for a damn roll of paper just to show that you got a goddamn brain. You, so-called, so-called educated black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you the scarecrow. And the scarecrow was dumb. He already had a damn brain, but he figured he needed to go run and do all of this stuff and then finally get to the wizard and get him a brain that came in a roll of a piece of goddamn paper with a ribbon on it, like a diploma. Am I saying it's wrong to get a diploma? No, I'm not saying that at all. But when you look at it for something way more than what the hell it is, and you want to sit there and down some other brother and call them uneducated just because you got one of those, you got that piece of dumbass roll of paper, it's good for its use, you know what I'm saying? But it's not something to sit there and say, I got a brain because of this. Because a white man will take your diploma when you go for that job and he don't want to hire you. He's mentally, psychologically wiping his ass with that paper that you just brought him. Now he's sitting there with the egg on his face. You. And we're going to go into verse 22. Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man, a Kabzeel, who had done many acts. He slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. Also, he went down and slew a lion in a pit in a snowy day. And he slew an Egyptian, a man of stature, 5 cubits high. And in the Egyptian's hand was a spear like a weaver's beam. And he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear. These are the powerful men. This is why we're supposed to be mighty, powerful men. You know what I'm saying? These type of mighty and powerful men is found inside the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge and are not found anywhere else. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Psalms chapter 18 and verse 1. All right. We're going to start with, as a matter of fact, we're going to go from 18 to, we're going to go from Psalms 18, and we're going to go from 28. For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. How does he do this? With the law. With the law. Because, I mean, you have plenty of people that boast themselves of the law, statutes, commandments, and all of that, but they use it, they pretty much use it with no, really with no understanding of it. But they also use it as, with no substance. Because if you ask them to break down how are these laws performed, they can't do it. They'll just keep using law, statutes, commandments, law, statutes, commandments, law, statutes, commandments. But when they have to break down and give an example of how that commandment is actually lived out in life, they can't do it. So to the untrained person, and you want to challenge a fake Israelite group, ask them that. Ask them, how is these laws performed? And you ain't gonna smash us with it, but the groups out there, you'll smash them with it. Because they love to say, what is love? The law is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The person just, that's a good cut scripture, but if the person asks, or can you give me an example of this? All of a sudden, they're at a standstill. They don't know how to do that. Because they don't know how the law, statutes, and commandments are really applied for real. They know to say the law, statutes, and commandments, which really, brings out the fact that they don't understand what it is to even actually read. They just come with a cut scripture or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But if they had to go in depth with it, what it actually really means, and give an example of it, or things like that, they can't do it. Now, what that is showing how to cut every fake Israelite group out there. The more people do this, the more that's going to make ISUPK shine, because we have not only the cut scriptures, but also the understanding behind them too. Verse 28. For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my God have I leaped over a wall. What is this? This is warfare. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. What is a buckler? A buckler is a shield that goes on your arm, so where you can deflect, where you can deflect things, it goes on your right or your left arm, where you can deflect weapons. That's what your buckler is. That's why I say he's a buckler. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. Well, who is God save the Lord? Or who is a rock save our God? It is God that girdeth me with strength, and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. So he maketh his feet like hinds' feet. Now there's scripture where it also talks about, Gad too was swift like roes upon the mountains. But even though King David wasn't of the tribe of Gad, but at the same time though, the Lord made his feet like hinds' feet. You look at a mountain goat or anything like that, climb up the rocks real tough, sturdy, balanced. You know what I'm saying? That has to do with balance. Not only is this talking about in warfare, but this is also talking about, his feet being solid, inside the truth. He's balanced to where he's not, wavering. He's not straddling the fence or any of that, Made his feet solid and very well balanced. And with that being said, we are the Isupk coming out of 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York, and the Commander General Honor. Pay your tithes, support the brothers that's in this truth, support the brothers that are out there fighting on the battlefield for you. That are out here trying to gather this nation together and understanding the fact that we are supposed to be a people that are supposed to be in rank and order, just like every other kingdom on the face of the planet. We're not going to get anywhere by being a bunch of loose bands and all of that. We're not going to get anywhere. And anybody that tells you that you will, there are people that's a person that hates our people and wants to see our people destroyed. Yeah, I know it sucks. And a lot of people that call themselves Israelites are like that also. And with that being said, we're going to go into the prayers. Let's look at the announcements. Well, the Isupk started out at 1 West on the 25th Street Hall in New York. Root for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. We will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Announce holy convocation from sheep. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. With that being said, Amaju means rise. Upon Hakidam, face the east. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kadash, Ayah, Shabkat, Yahweh, Alawaka, Taba'ah, Adazaka, Ayah, Asha, Baharakaza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Adananawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawan, Basalak now, Kabuwak now, Kaslak now, Kabuwak now, Mala'ah, Tabiyah now, Banasaya 1, Abal, Awashai now, Mayan, Rai, Taya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapar, Awalayim, Aman. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Yahweh, Vashim Yahushua, Babakashah, Latananaw, Akak, Akak, Raba'ah, Kalmaka'ala, Kalmadawa, Akak, Latahar, Amatazarayim, Akak, Lahakim, Amakim, Isupk, Arakawah, Atama Allah, the Garshan, by Shimei Shah, the water Aman. Yahweh, in the name of Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power against unclean spirits, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, cast them out. In the name of Shah, thank you. So be it. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Meka Allah, Wa Allahayim, Madazaba Ah, Alwat Yahan, Halawakim, Asarayayim, Hakatazayayim, Hakayayim, Wa Kwakim, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, the water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanded your Yahana, the generals, captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Yabaraka, Yahweh, Washmarka, Yar, Yahweh, but Yahweh, Aliyaka, Wayakanka, Yasha'ah, Yahweh, but Yahweh, Aliyaka, Wayasham, Lakar, Shalom, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Barak, Rapah, Bagan, Hagan, the Puckett family, the Hall family, the Todd family, and all destroyed of Israel. Done. By Hashem Yahweh Shai, the water Aman. Yahweh, bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh, may his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh, lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, heal, shield, protect the names of the lovers we just named. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Say evils and curses, and punishment, destruction, and death to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers in the school. Say evils and curses, and punishment, destruction, and death to the heathen, and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel, which refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter the thy sanctuary. Say evils and curses, and punishment, destruction, and death to the Edomites, and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves and the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift death to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always. So be it. Sorry. Men of Israel, a modern Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba Shim Yahweh Shah Barak Atham. Yazmatah, courtesy salute to the sisters. Amadu Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Al Thar Ba Shim Yahweh Shah. Yazmatah, class dismissed.